Welcome to So Big Movies. My name is Len Archibald, and welcome to the official counting down of the top 100 most iconic movie trailers of all time. We are in the top 30, and I am excited. Everything from here on out, iconic. It's in the title. Don't forget, if you want to see what I view as criteria in what makes a movie trailer iconic, check out the Honorable Mentions video. Also, don't forget to like and comment on all the videos we have here on the channel. Are we ready to rock? Let's do this. We start this block with a truly memorable one. Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. And man, was this trailer discussed a lot when I was in school. This trailer promised so much, and pardon my French, they fucked it all up. But back to the trailer itself, which starts out with a nighttime glimpse of the New York City skyline circa 1989, with sweet, sexy, jazzy jazz playing on the soundtrack, as the camera slowly zooms in on a subject staring out at that skyline. The reveal of Jason Voorhees is one of the best stingers a teaser can pull off. And this trailer is infamous for a bunch of different reasons. Not least of all, that the film promoted does not make due on the promise of the trailer itself. What we get here in this little teaser was a horror hound's wet dream. Jason Voorhees. Jason Voorhees in New York City. What? But they, pardon my French, fucked it all up, and what we got instead was Jason on a boat, which would have been fine for what it was if it was advertised as that. Well, suffice to say, fans were pissed at the false advertising, and the film was a major disappointment, grossing $14.3 million at the domestic box office, making it the poorest performing film in the Friday the 13th series, and setting it up so Paramount could dump the franchise on New Line Cinema. But this trailer is so absolutely iconic that in some ways the trailer has become more memorable than the movie itself. So take heed. Even the greatest trailers can result in a shitty product.
Friday the 13th, Part 8. Jason Takes Manhattan. Now, New York has a new problem.
The film trailers for Quentin Tarantino films are usually events in themselves. The trailers for Inglourious Basterds, Django Unchained, The Hateful Eight, and Jackie Brown are all classics in their own right, along with the films already highlighted on this countdown.
To my right is Bounty Law series lead and Jake Cahill himself, Rick Dalton. And to my left is Rick's stunt double Cliff Booth.
The trailer for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, though, felt like the culmination of all of Tarantino's powers. Starting with one of the great movie pairings in Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt as actor Rick Dalton and stuntman Cliff Booth shooting the shit in a great take of old school film reel interviews.
Carrying his load? Yeah, it's about right.
We are just thrown into the fire of 1969 Hollywood and all its groovy glory. And once we get through that Bruce Lee scene, the trailer explodes into an amazing montage of cinematic pop art.
My hands are registered as lethal weapons. We get into a fight, I accidentally kill you. I go to jail.
Anybody accidentally kills anybody in a fight, they go to jail. It's called manslaughter.
Played to the tune of Los Bravos, Bring a Little Lovin', where every frame was just amazingly composed, and the trailer ends on that great stinger of Rick Dalton catching feelings over someone admiring his performance. Hooked! Hooked!
That was the best acting I've ever seen in my whole life.
Like you. Rick fucking Dalton.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood premiered at the 2019 Cannes Film Festival, grossed $374 million worldwide, and received praise for Tarantino's direction and screenplay, the performances, particularly from DiCaprio and Pitt, who was one of the easiest Oscar win predictions in history as Pitt walked away with Best Supporting Actor, the cinematography, soundtrack, sound, costume, and production design. The film was nominated for 10 Oscars and won 2, along with other accolades, and the film is recognized as one of Tarantino's best works. A novelization written by Tarantino in his debut as an author was published in 2021. What a ride this trailer was to get us in the theater for this one. At 28 is the trailer for Stanley Kubrick's A Clockwork Orange, and this trailer is bonkers. Playing to a slightly sped up tune of the William Tell Overture, the trailer takes us through a trip of stills from the film, quickly cut, along with words like witty and sardonic, bouncing off the screen like subliminal bullets from a John Carpenter alien takeover movie. It's an assaulting trailer, not giving the audience much plot detail, but one the novel A Clockwork Orange is based off of was acclaimed and very popular when the film was released, so I wouldn't be surprised if those at Warner Brothers didn't feel a need to get into the story for the trailer, and 2 is Stanley Kubrick. Whatever film he's attached to will treat him as the primary selling point, and most trailers from his films will adopt a mood, style, and pace fitting for the movie itself, and A Clockwork Orange is definitely being sold as something that is an assault on the senses, along with having a sense of really, really, really dark humor. If you've seen A Clockwork Orange, it probably would be no surprise that the film was intensely polarizing among critics, with some calling it Kubrick's most technically advanced film, while others, like Pauline Kael, described Kubrick as a bad pornographer. It didn't matter, as the film was a ridiculous success, bringing in $114 million worldwide on a meager budget of $1.3 million, and has amassed a massive cult following. This is a major piece of filmmaking promotional goodness.
Your mind. It is the center of your life.
Showing up for a third time on the countdown is Arnold at number 27, and the teaser for 1990's Total Recall, directed by Paul Verhoeven, and visually, this trailer is just amazing. It's like some sort of space-age graphic design that pans down from the Carolco logo to Arnold Schwarzenegger's face as the narration takes us on a journey to Mars, and one of the defining sequences of the futuristic spy noir thriller mindfuck.
Quaid. Cut.
Get ready for a surprise!
We then get a sense of the plot, where Arnold plays a man who may or may not be a spy, who may or may not be living out a futuristic fantasy. And this trailer gives us all the action and intrigue we need, with Sharon Stone and good old Michael Ironside making life hell for our favorite action star. This was an A-list action movie with some great B-movie sensibilities, and it worked. Total Recall was the 5th highest grossing movie of 1990, won an Oscar for its special effects, and has been praised for those effects, the production design, Verhoeven's direction, and its ambiguous ending. Forget the 2012 remake. This is the real deal here.
His name is Sylvester Stallone. He's the star of a new film called Rocky.
At number 26 is the trailer for Rocky, and calling this trailer iconic almost feels like stating something that is way too obvious. But we all know Sly, we all know Rocky, so let's just do it. This trailer does something that I bet a lot of youngins probably wouldn't understand. There was a time when Stallone wasn't seen as some action demigod, but as a legit writer/actor. It may seem strange now, but back then, he was being compared to Marlon Brando. But look, this is all about what happens when that bell rings, Bill Conti's incredible score kicks in, and Rocky is asked point blank,
Rocky, do you believe that America is the land of opportunity?
Yeah.
and from there, this trailer becomes one of the most hyped pieces of media ever invented, and what's crazy, not one shot of the fight between Rocky and Apollo Creed. We just need Gotta Fly now and Rocky running up those steps, and we know we got something special. Rocky won Best Picture at the 1976 Oscars, shocking the world, as an underdog would, and has become not just a film franchise that launched another successful franchise with the Creed movies, but is a piece of collective human culture.
But you will always remember him as Rocky.
Okay, so we have none other than Die Hard at number 25, and I'm going to level with you. I am going to cheat here. There are two particular entries on this countdown that boast two what I feel are equally iconic trailers, and this is the first movie. Die Hard has two absolutely fantastic trailers. The first, a simple 37-second entry played to the tune of Ode to Joy that basically sells the film on the scope of its action and, in a way, its sound design. And yes, the sound design for this movie is spectacular. And this specific trailer has a special place in my heart because I did see this trailer in 1988 and it kind of opened my ears to movies, like understanding that there is a craft to putting together how a film sounds. But I digress.
We thank you one and all and wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
It's Christmas Eve in L.A.
The second trailer for Die Hard is just a brilliant short film of itself, a mishmash of all the iconic scenes from the film, and I would dare say this may be one of the most quotable movie trailers of all time. Also, one that may be one of the most rewatchable.
John McClane.
Got invited to the Christmas party by mistake. Who knew?
This channel is reserved for emergency calls only.
Lady, do I sound like I'm ordering a pizza?
Do you really think you have a chance against us, Mr. Cowboy?
Yippee-ki-yay, mother...
I don't have to tell you Die Hard was an insane success, bringing in over 139 million worldwide, is considered one of the best and most influential action films of all time, shooting Bruce Willis into leading man status, gracing the mainstream with the awesomeness that is Alan Rickman, creating a major film franchise, and yes! It is a Christmas movie. You will not convince me otherwise.
He's an easy guy to like.
Welcome to the party, pal.
And a hard man to kill. Bruce Willis. Die Hard.
Talk about one hell of a teaser with Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight. In all honesty, most of Christopher Nolan movie trailers are pretty epic. We've already talked about Inception, and the trailers for Interstellar, Dunkirk, and Oppenheimer are pretty badass too. But the teaser for The Dark Knight just may be the best little bit of promotion for a Nolan film, and it just works because of how to the point it is. We have had trailers that are just voiceover in the past, but this really knew how to maximize its short runtime. This trailer was meant to hammer home the threat of the Joker, and we hear snippets of one of the philosophical elements of the film, where Alfred, played by Michael Caine, points out that there are just some people who just want to watch the world burn.
You crossed the line first, sir. You hammered them, and in their desperation, they turned to a man they didn't fully understand.
As beams of light shoot out behind the bat symbol. Finally, we hear the ultimate threat from Heath Ledger's Joker, declaring that,
"Starting tonight, people will die. I'm a man of my word."
Yeah, shut up and take my money. It goes without saying, The Dark Knight was a game changer in so many ways, showing that comic book properties could be prestige films in such a way that it changed how the Academy Awards viewed them. The Dark Knight broke several box office records, becoming the highest grossing film of 2008, the fourth highest grossing film of its time, the highest grossing superhero film at that time, and made Heath Ledger an all-time legend. And it's clear that this teaser definitely helped with that. Coming in at number 23 is a trailer I know will gain some controversy from its placement from both sides. And it is the trailer for Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. And I get it. This is a divisive movie. There are some that deride the over-reliance on CGI and the overtly political narrative and the wee bit of, let's call it, cultural ignorance. But for some, this was their introduction to Star Wars, and I can't fault those who were just as blown away as I was. And I was introduced through Star Wars via Return of the Jedi, the least regarded of the original trilogy. So what do I know? But this trailer, man, when it came out, along with that one-sheet poster of Darth Vader's shadow looming over a young Anakin, the world lost its collective, ever-loving shit. A new Star Wars movie in 16 years? Injected into my veins. And this trailer knows what it's doing. It builds to such a perfect crescendo that by the time John Williams' score triumphantly returns, as we are hurled through a pod race, 20th Century Fox knew they had our cash. And despite how hotly debated this movie is, it still made a killing, making $1 billion theatrically and successfully, or not, depending on who you ask, the prequel trilogy and further expanded the Star Wars mythos.
Seems like 1,000 years ago.
Whatever it takes. Coming in at 22 is the trailer for Avengers Endgame. And I think it's safe to say that as of right now, there may never be another cinematic phenomenon that captures the cultural zeitgeist like Avengers Endgame. It was the end of an 11-year odyssey, and fans who followed the Marvel Cinematic Universe were treated to one of the most fist-pumping, gleefully fan-servicey, and satisfying movie experiences of all time, and we didn't need much to remind us of the stakes befallen our Avengers after Thanos' snap. Starting with Tony Stark in space, narrating to Pepper Potts, it slips into a shared narration from Peggy Carter and then the rest of the original Avengers team as we get a brief introduction to Hawkeye and Ant-Man joining the efforts to combat Thanos. The trailer builds to Alan Silvestri's iconic score, and we crescendo with the endgame mantra that felt like a battle cry.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes. Avengers Endgame's final theatrical take brought home nearly $2.8 billion at the box office, the second highest of all time behind Avatar, broke numerous other box office records, and the gold standard of fan service done well. I saw this in a packed theater on opening night, and it's one of the best movie-going experience I've ever had, and this trailer brought the goods.
I like this one.
Speaking of trailers that are fist-pumping, we got an absolute game-changer with The Matrix at number 21. I can recall vividly being in the theater in Brampton and seeing this trailer with my friends and turning to each other like, what the fuck did we just see? This trailer is just a slickly paced short film that gives us the gist of the story. Keanu Reeves is a computer hacker who wants to know what is the Matrix, and finding out has dire consequences.
Human beings are a disease. You are a cancer of this planet. And we are the cure. Get me the hell out of here! Welcome to the real world.
And then we just get a sizzle reel of almost every memorable moment from the movie, and even though bullet time was used so much that it bordered on parody at one point, when it was first revealed in 1999, no one knew what to do with themselves. Yeah, The Matrix was a cultural phenomenon, bringing in over $400 million, winning all 4 Oscars it was nominated for, launching a massive media franchise, and is regarded as one of the greatest science fiction and action films of all time.
Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself.
That's it for this block of the countdown, and like I said, iconic is just the word to use for all the trailers on this block. So much goodness, it is really hard to contain. What were some of your favorite trailers from this block of the countdown? Are there any that you would rank on a separate list of your own? Share your thoughts and leave a comment. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell icon so you can get notifications. Until next time, guys, take care.